Accused of refusing to help the homeless, Nottingham City Council is criticised for not providing a local charity with support.
We've been trying for the Nottingham City Council to get somewhere to sit inside, and we're just getting nowhere. And this has been running over a year now.
Parking charges could be introduced at the Forest Rec.
And the multi-million-pound redevelopment of the Broadmarsh Centre is well underway. Hello and welcome to CBJ News. I'm Tilly Richards.
And I'm Rory Ridley-Thomas. Nottingham City Council have been accused of not helping a homeless charity who've been running for over a year. The Walkers of Nottingham rely solely on donations and have repeatedly appealed to the council to find an inside venue. Ryan Clancy reports.
Homeless charity Walkers Nots come together every Tuesday night to feed and clothe the homeless in Sneinton Market. The group managed to have around 12 volunteers working every week who work in any weather, with some travelling as far as Leicester to help out. Denise Walker, the founder of the group, got the inspiration to help the less fortunate from her past.
My brother used to go to India. He went for 26 years, he used to take clothes over, food, everything. And he died 3 years ago. So that was like my thing in memory of him to set this up. You know what I mean? And I could have been homeless myself 4 years ago. So, you know, all these things are in your head, you know, and you think, well, what can you do? And this is what happened. We started coming out, and it's just getting bigger and better and stronger.
The rate of homelessness in Nottingham is now higher than ever, and some nights the group can feed near 100 people. The most recent annual statistics show that there are now more than 250,000 homeless people in the UK and rising. Walkers Nots are not funded by anyone, but try to have as many fundraisers as possible to get the finances they need. The main aim for the group is to find that warm, sheltered place for them to work, something that they've been trying to get from the Nottingham City Council.
As you can see, there's a lot of people. There's sometimes 90 an hour. So we come out, we feed, they have 3 main meals, they have fruit, veg, cakes, clothes. If we can help them for one night, it's a bonus. We're not funded by nothing. It's all done by me and the volunteers. We've got no funding. You get the odd people that gives donations, but that's it, you know what I mean? It's just, we don't get no help from nowhere. We've been trying for the Nottingham City Council to get somewhere to sit inside, and we're just getting nowhere. And this has been running over a year now.
The Sheriff of Nottingham has recently visited the group and was impressed with the work that they've been doing, giving them hope that he could find the inside space they've been waiting for. The City Council have been contacted regarding the issue, but there has been no response. Ryan Clancy, CBJ News.
Parking charges could be introduced at the Forest Recreational Ground. Events such as Goose Fair have caused overcrowding at the Park and Ride on Forest Road. The car park currently has nearly 1,000 spaces and it's often used by commuters to get into work from the city. We asked the drivers in Nottingham what their thoughts were.
It will affect me because I try to think where I can park and where the money is, because we're all on sort of shortcuts now. So I try to think where I can park, where I can sort of go where it's easy, and this is a fantastic place.
It's just another way of the council making even more money when they're making even more cuts. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, with thousands of people using the car park each week, our reporter Lauren Clemson was keen to speak to the City Council to clear everything up.
Nottingham City Council declined to give us an interview, but they did give us this statement. The NET Park and Ride will not be affected by the proposed car parking charges. However, for events such as the Goose Fair, many cars choose to park here at the Forest Recreational Ground, and they need to make sure people park safely. The new order can prevent this and make sure there is no unsafe parking here in the park.
A multi-million-pound redevelopment is underway for the Broadmarsh area of Nottingham. The car park and bus station have started to be demolished, and the City Council hopes the whole area will be transformed for the better. Our reporter Arlen Tahulu sent this report.
The demolition of the Broadmarsh car park marks a new beginning for the south of Nottingham city centre. The £250 million Broadmarsh redevelopment project is set to be complete mid-2020, 2 years later than the original plans.
It's going to make a massive difference, the Broadmarsh redevelopment. You've got so much going on. It's an area that has desperately needed regeneration for many, many years. It's not a welcoming entrance to the city at the moment. You know, you come in this lovely train station, the redeveloped Station Street, lovely heritage Carrington Street, and then you're met with a brick wall. It's going to make it a city that everyone can be proud of.
The newly furbished shopping centre will feature a bowling alley, multiplex cinema and food court on its upper Broadwalk floor. A new line of retail stores and restaurant brands will make a home of the ground floor, leading to the newly renovated car park. Nottingham will be losing one of its most notorious architectures built in the 1970s. However, local residents are enthusiastic about what's to come.
It's about time. I mean, they can say how many houses they're going to put up and where. You try and protest and be damned if you can do anything about it. But this, they've taken so long, it's ridiculous.
If it turns out like the Victoria Centre, that will be nice.
Well, Nottingham has really improved with the amount of work they've done on it.
Yeah.
The works, which could take up to 3 years to complete, worried some of the locals. However, the council is optimistic that these temporary disruptions are worthwhile and will benefit the city.
I mean, I've lived in Nottingham 25 years and it's always been the same for me. We've redeveloped so much of the city and this is an area that's really needed it. There's been a huge swell of support to try and get this done. That doesn't mean we're just going to go and do it any old way. We're going to make sure we get this right. I think there are concerns from people about how it's going to look. We've put out a number of images of how it'll look in the long term, how the shopping centre will look, the public realm, the new car park. It's all been met really positively. I think people are just so delighted to see some changes finally happening in Broadmarsh, and we can now give that reassurance that it's definitely happening. Stick with us.
Planning has gone on for more than 2 decades now, but this demolition marks the beginning of a vast redevelopment in Nottingham city centre.
This Sunday is Remembrance Sunday and people all over the country are preparing to remember those who have lost their lives in both World Wars and more recent armed conflicts.
Our reporter, Luke By the Way, went down earlier to the County War Memorial on the embankment.
Hi guys, yes it is Remembrance Day this weekend, with the Armistice Day falling on Saturday and Remembrance Day falling on the Sunday. The Armistice marks the point at which guns fell silent and signalled the end of World War I. It occurs every year at 11 AM on the 11th day of the 11th month. The biggest of which will be held here at the War Memorial Gardens, where the High Sheriff, the Lord Mayor and the County President of the Royal British Legion will be in attendance, along with cadets, current servicemen and veterans to help pay their respects. As for Beeston, there will be a 2-minute silence, a wreath laying and a service at St John the Baptist Church. Hucknall will see a brass band performing at around 10 o'clock. And Long Eaton will be having a parade starting at Westgate at around 10:20 AM, finishing with a service at St Lawrence's Church. And if you were to come here on Sunday, I'm sure this area behind me would be filled with people paying their respects. That's all from me, back to you in the studio.
Thanks Luke. Now Harry Cobbold has your latest sports news.
Nottingham Forest Jamie Ward played his part in Northern Ireland's 1-0 loss to Switzerland in the World Cup qualifying playoff last night. The match was not without controversy as the referee awarded a penalty for handball which resulted in the Switzerland goal. England are in action this evening in an international friendly against Germany. The two rivals face each other at Wembley, with the England team suffering from an injury crisis and senior players dropping out of the team. This has led manager Gareth Southgate selecting Tammy Abraham, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Jordan Pickford for their international debuts. And in League Two, Notts County faced an away trip to Stevenage on Saturday, where County will be looking to extend their lead at the top of the table. In cricket, Nottinghamshire's Jake Ball has suffered a suspected sprained ankle, meaning he has had to pull out of the England warm-up match against a Cricket Australia 11. And finally, after Tuesday's Champions League heartbreak, the Panthers will be looking to get back to winning ways against Braehead Clan tomorrow evening, who have been struggling in recent times. That's all your sport for now. Back to you, Rory and Tilly.
Thanks for that, Harry. Now Saran is here with your weather.
The evening will see temperatures settle at around 6 degrees and the whole region will be under a thick layer of cloud. Tomorrow, early rains clearing southwards as skies begin to clear, allowing for some sunny spells to develop. Clouds may increase again later, but most parts dry and chilly, maximum temperatures of 10 degrees. Sunshine and coastal showers on Sunday with cold northerly winds, then frosty overnight. Often sunny, chilly on Monday, becoming milder with rains and strong winds overnight.
Thanks, Saran. That's all we have time for today.
Join us next time for your latest news update.
Have a great weekend. Goodbye.